Canada, a land of wild beauty, ancient cultures, and cities that whisper stories into the wind. From jagged coastlines to towering peaks, from bustling multicultural cities to forests older than history, this is a place that doesn't just welcome you, it changes you. But here's the thing. Most people think they know Canada, maple syrup, Mounties, snow. But what if we told you there's so much more? Did you know Canada has the oldest known Viking settlement outside Europe? Or that its tides can rise faster than a horse can run? Or that one city here has more French speakers than most of France? So hit that follow button and travel with us across 2 breathtaking hours through the wonders of Canada. Let's begin at the edge of the Atlantic. Imagine this, a lighthouse standing alone on wave-washed granite with mist curling through the air like breath from the sea itself. That's Peggy's Cove, one of the most iconic spots on Canada's eastern shore. Quiet, stoic, timeless. The Atlantic crashes just feet away, but the village? Peaceful. A postcard brought to life. Lobster traps, fishing boats, clapboard houses. But don't let the calm fool you. This coast holds legends, like the one about Peggy, a shipwreck survivor who gave the place its name, or the ghostly sailors said to still haunt the coves when fog rolls in thick. Drive north and something wild happens. The tides start to rise, and rise, and rise. You've reached the Bay of Fundy, home to the highest tides on Earth. Water levels here can surge over 50 feet, faster than you can outrun them. People come just to watch the ocean perform its twice-daily magic act, disappearing, then rushing back like it's reclaiming its throne. Best time to visit is late spring through early fall. And bring rubber boots. The sea leaves behind a muddy playground. Now, head northeast, way northeast, where the land gets rugged, the people, even tougher. You're in Newfoundland, a place with its own rhythm, its own accent, and a history that rewrites the books. Did you know the first Europeans to step foot in North America weren't British or French, but Vikings? Yep. 500 years before Columbus, Norse sailors crossed the Atlantic and landed right here at Lense Meadows. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Windswept cliffs, grass-covered huts, interpreters dressed in wool and iron reenact daily Viking life like it's still 1000 AD. It's eerie, grounding, and totally unforgettable. Head west and the land rises like a dream, or maybe a painting. This is Gros Morne National Park, and it's not just beautiful. It's geological proof of how continents were formed. Seriously, this is where the Earth's mantle is exposed. A place where tectonic plates collided and created mountains that whisper prehistoric stories. But that's not all you'll find. There are fjords here that could rival Norway, trout-filled lakes, moose in the mist, and sunsets that bleed fire across the sky. June to September is your window for hiking, kayaking, or just breathing in that pure, crisp air. Now let's step into a storybook. Cobblestone streets, stone buildings with ivy curling up the walls, signs in French, music drifting from a violin on the corner. You have just entered Quebec City, and no, this isn't Europe, but it sure feels like it. This is North America's only walled city, and it's been standing since the 1600s. Climb the ramparts, peek through a cannon slit, then stroll through Old Quebec, where every alley looks like a movie set. Did you know this place was once the heart of New France? The Chateau Frontenac, that grand old hotel on the cliff, has watched centuries of history play out along the St. Lawrence River. Lawrence River. Come in winter and the whole town becomes a snow globe, especially during Carnival, when ice castles, snow sculptures, and maple taffy rule the streets. But just 3 hours away, different vibe entirely. Welcome to Montreal, Canada's cultural powerhouse. Art, music, fashion, food, and a blend of French cool and North American edge. Grab a smoked meat sandwich from Schwartz's. Catch street art turning alleyways into galleries. And don't be surprised if the person beside you at a cafe switches between French and English mid-sentence. That's just Montreal. By the way, or It's the second largest French-speaking city in the world, after Paris. Yep, more than Marseille, Lyon, even Brussels. Montreal doesn't rush, it flows, it flirts, it feeds the soul. We have seen charm, culture, coastlines. Now it's time for a capital experience. Welcome to Ottawa, Canada's heart of politics and one of the most elegant capitals on earth. Set right on the Rideau Canal, this city is all class. Grand Victorian buildings, peaceful parks, and that Parliament Hill, rising like a crown above the Ottawa River. At noon, you might catch the changing of the guard. Red coats, tall hats, and military precision. In July, the lawns explode with fireworks and flags during Canada Day. But Ottawa isn't just business and ceremony. Come in winter, and that same Rideau Canal becomes the longest skating rink in the world. Locals lace up and glide past frozen cafes and pop-up food stalls. Try a warm beaver tail pastry as you skate. Trust us, your taste buds will thank you. Now, let's drift south along the St. Lawrence River, where water weaves through a maze of forested islands and hidden shores. This is the Thousand Islands region. And no, it's not just a salad dressing. There are actually over 1,800 islands here, some no bigger than a rock with a tree, others holding full-blown mansions and even a castle. Bolt Castle sits on Hart Island, built by a hotel tycoon as a tribute to his wife. When she died suddenly, the construction stopped. Today it stands frozen in time, a love story carved in stone, surrounded by water. Take a sunset cruise in late summer. The light hits the water just right, and every island seems to glow. Hear that? That deep, endless roar? That's not a soundtrack. That's Niagara Falls, one of the most powerful and awe-inspiring sights in the natural world. You don't just look at Niagara. You feel it, in your bones, in your chest, in the mist that soaks your jacket and makes you laugh like a kid again. More than 700,000 gallons of water per second plummet over the edge here, enough to fill an Olympic pool in less than a second. Hop on the Hornblower boat tour and get right up close. Yes, you'll get drenched, and yes, it's worth it. Now, dry off and head just 20 minutes north. You're about to stumble into one of Canada's best-kept secrets, Niagara-on-the-Lake. Think horse-drawn carriages, flower-lined streets, historic theaters. It's pure elegance with a hint of old-world charm. This is also wine country, and the region's famous for one thing in particular: ice wine. Made from grapes frozen on the vine, it's rich, sweet, and uniquely Canadian. Did you know? Canada is the largest producer of ice wine in the world, and Niagara is its crown jewel. Visit in autumn. When the vineyards turn gold, the air is crisp, and the town smells like firewood and fudge. Now we arrive at the giant, Toronto, the city that never stops moving, and somehow still makes room for everyone. Skyscrapers stretch toward the clouds. Streetcars hum past glass towers. But look closer, and you'll find over 250 ethnicities, speaking 170-plus languages, all living side by side. Did you know Toronto is considered one of the most multicultural cities on Earth? From Chinatown to Little Italy, Greek town to Koreatown. You can eat around the world without ever leaving the city. Then there's the CN Tower, the icon, once the tallest freestanding structure on the planet. Take the elevator to the top, or if you're brave, try the edge walk, a hands-free walk around the outside rim, 116 stories up. Yeah, not for the faint of heart. Come in late spring or early fall, fewer crowds, perfect patio weather, and festivals in full swing. But Toronto isn't just towers and traffic. Sneak into Kensington Market, a boho maze of vintage shops, murals, taco joints, and reggae beats. Or stroll the Distillery District, cobblestones, fairy lights, and cafes inside old whiskey warehouses. This city, it's electric, diverse, addictive. And just when you think you've seen it all, we're heading into the wild north, where glass towers give way to glassy lakes, pine forests, and rugged shield rock. Breathe in, that's pine, birch, campfire smoke, and maybe a little nostalgia. You've arrived in Algonquin Provincial Park, Ontario's crown jewel of wilderness. Just 3 hours north of Toronto, but it feels like another world. Over 2,400 lakes shimmer between maple-covered hills and granite ridges carved by glaciers. And when the leaves turn in September and October, oh, it's pure poetry. Reds, oranges, yellows, reflected in still water like a living painting. Did you know? Algonquin was Canada's first provincial park, founded in 1893, and it's still where city folks go to lose themselves in the wild. Rent a canoe, paddle into silence. You might spot a moose, antlers up, grazing by the shore, or hear the haunting echo of a loon call across the lake at dusk. It's Canada in its purest form. Stay in a rustic lodge or try backcountry camping if you're up for it. And don't forget bug spray in spring. Now drift west to Muskoka, a land of dockside boathouses, luxury cabins, and weekends on the lake. It's been the escape for generations of Canadians, and the occasional celebrity too. Crisp air, hammocks, canoes tied to weathered docks. It's not flashy, it's perfect. But if you think this is peak beauty, wait till you see what's next. We're flying west, to a province of towering peaks, turquoise lakes, and rugged magic. Now we head deep into the Canadian Rockies, a place so jaw-droppingly beautiful, it feels like it belongs in a dream. Welcome to Banff National Park, Canada's oldest national park, and arguably its most famous. Here, towering peaks pierce the sky, their snow-covered tips glinting in the sun. Glacial rivers tumble through valleys carved by ice, and every turn reveals another view worth a postcard. Did you know? Banff wasn't always a national park. It was established in 1885 when a group of railway workers stumbled across hot springs near the town, turning it into one of the first tourist destinations in Canada. At the heart of Banff, the town sits nestled among the towering Rockies. Picture quaint cafes, local boutiques, and natural hot springs where you can soak under a starry sky. And just a short drive away, Lake Louise, often called one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. The glacier-fed water is the color of emerald, framed by rugged peaks and a grand hotel that looks straight out of a fairy tale. Summer months bring hiking, canoeing, and wildlife sightings. But for a real treat, come in early fall when the crowds thin, the air crisps, and the mountain passes start to dust with snow. But it's not just the views that will leave you breathless. The Icefields Parkway, one of the most scenic drives on Earth, connects Banff and Jasper national parks. Along the way, you'll pass glaciers, turquoise lakes, and sweeping valleys, where you might catch a glimpse of a grizzly bear or a herd of elk. Stop at Peggy Lake for a picture-perfect shot. The lake's wolf-head shape will have you in awe. Jasper, the next stop, is quieter, more remote. It's a stargazer's dream, with the darkest skies in Canada. Imagine camping under a blanket of stars so thick you almost feel like you're floating in space. And just like that, we've covered a land so wild it could take a lifetime to fully explore. Now let's take a sharp turn west to a place where the mountains literally fall into the sea. Welcome to Vancouver, one of the most beautiful and diverse cities on Earth. Vancouver is that rare gem where the urban pulse and nature's rhythm blend effortlessly. Take a morning run along Stanley Park, with views of the city skyline set against the deep green of ancient trees. Did you know Stanley Park is bigger than Central Park? And it's been here for over a century, offering locals and visitors alike an urban oasis that feels worlds away from city life. But it's not just parks and ocean views here. Vancouver's a foodie's paradise. From sushi to dim sum, to the best local craft breweries in the world. Grab a bite in Granville Island, where fresh seafood meets artisan cheeses and street art. Explore Kitsilano Beach in the summer, where the water's cool, the views are unbeatable, and the vibe is all about fun and relaxation. Vancouver also serves as the gateway to the rest of British Columbia, with the majestic Whistler only 2 hours away. Or take a ferry to Vancouver Island and explore the charming town of Victoria, with its historic harbor and incredible gardens. But Vancouver isn't all about relaxation. For the adventurous souls, there's mountain biking on the trails of Grouse Mountain, or kayaking around the islands in English Bay. And if you're craving something unique, try paragliding over the city, where the Pacific coast meets the mountains. It's a thrill you'll never forget. If you think you've seen it all, think again. The Yukon is a place where the wilderness stretches as far as the eye can see, and nature is at its most raw, untamed, and unforgettable. Imagine this: wide open skies, snow-covered peaks, and rivers so pure they could have been carved by the hands of the gods. But the real magic happens at night. In winter, the sky becomes a canvas of green and purple. The northern lights dance above, flickering like ghostly flames in the midnight sky. Did you know that the Yukon is one of the best places in the world to see the aurora borealis? It's a light show so surreal, it'll have you staring in awe, speechless, as the colors swirl and shift overhead. Whitehorse, the capital, is the beating heart of this frontier. Here visitors find rugged charm, rustic buildings, cozy cafes, and a landscape that invites exploration at every corner. And it's not just about winter's frozen beauty. In summer, the Yukon River invites paddlers to trace its path through wild, untouched forests, while Kluane National Park offers hiking and wildlife viewing like nowhere else in Canada. You might spot a moose, a grizzly, or even a lynx, prowling the forest like it's their world, which it is. Come in late spring or early fall for the best chance of seeing the northern lights, with mild temperatures and long, dark nights. And if you're up for a truly unique experience, try dog sledding through the deep snow of winter. Nothing connects you to the wild spirit of the Yukon like racing across a frozen wilderness with a team of sled dogs leading the way. The Yukon isn't a place you visit. It's a place that changes you, where the silence is as loud as the mountains, and the stars feel like old friends. Now we're heading to the far north, to the Northwest Territories, Canada's last frontier. This is where the land stretches as far as the eye can see, where wild animals roam free, and where the northern lights dance across the sky in a spectacular show of color. With fewer than 45,000 people spread over a landmass that's almost the size of India, this is a place of solitude, serenity, and unspoiled beauty. Here, the wilderness is the main attraction. Imagine towering mountains, expansive boreal forests, and shimmering lakes that freeze in the winter, offering a playground for adventurers and nature lovers alike. Let's begin with the stunning Great Slave Lake, the second largest lake in Canada. In the summer, this place is perfect for boating, fishing, and wildlife viewing. Keep an eye out for bald eagles, beavers, and the mighty bison that roam this wild land. And in winter, the lake freezes over, becoming a serene winter wonderland where you can go ice fishing, snowmobiling, or simply marvel at the stillness. One of the most magical experiences in the Northwest Territories is chasing the northern lights. The aurora borealis is a phenomenon that happens most nights in this region, but September to March is the best time to witness the lights in all their glory. Just imagine standing outside under a pitch-black sky, surrounded by the silence of the wilderness, as the sky bursts into green, pink, and purple streaks of light. Did you know the lights are caused by solar wind colliding with the Earth's magnetic field? That's what creates the beautiful, ethereal glow in the night sky. For those seeking something a bit more rugged, the Nahanni National Park Reserve is a must. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is home to waterfalls, canyons, and wild rivers, offering opportunities for canoeing and kayaking like few other places on Earth. The Virginia Falls, which are twice the height of Niagara Falls, are nothing short of breathtaking. And standing at their base, feeling the power of the water, is an experience that will leave you speechless. Visiting the Northwest Territories requires some preparation. Dress warmly even in the summer months, as temperatures can drop unexpectedly, and be ready for an adventure far off the beaten path. The Northwest Territories are the definition of adventure. It's a place where nature rules and human footprints are few. If you're looking for a place to disconnect, to truly feel the power of the land and sky, this is it. Now let's explore Prince Edward Island, one of the most charming places in all of Canada. This little island, tucked away in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, is famous for its lush green countryside, red sand beaches, and its connection to the beloved story of Anne of Green Gables. When you step foot on PEI, it feels like stepping into a storybook. The island is covered in rolling farmlands dotted with lighthouse-topped cliffs and bordered by gentle waves lapping against sandy shores. It's an island of simplicity and beauty, where time slows down and life feels a little bit more magical. One of the best ways to start your adventure on the island is by visiting Green Gables, the iconic home of Anne Shirley, the fictional character made famous by author Lucy Maud Montgomery. The house, now a museum, is surrounded by the very landscapes that inspired Montgomery's classic novels. Stroll through the Green Gables gardens, see the haunted wood, and take a moment to enjoy the same peaceful views that Anne would have cherished. But PEI isn't just for Anne fans. The island is a foodie's paradise, especially if you love seafood. Lobster, mussels, and the world-famous Prince Edward Island oysters are just some of the fresh local dishes you'll find. Head to the fishing villages along the coast, where you can enjoy seafood feasts right on the water's edge, with a view of the lighthouses in the distance. Nothing quite compares to the flavor of food caught fresh from the sea. And if you're looking for a bit of adventure, PEI has you covered too. Cavendish Beach is the perfect spot for a sunny day, where you can relax in the sand or take a dip in the Atlantic Ocean. Charlottetown, the capital of the island, is a charming town with colorful buildings, cute cafes, and lively events. If you visit in the summer, check out the Charlottetown Festival, which celebrates everything from theater to music. Did you know that Charlottetown is also known as the birthplace of Confederation? This is where the Charlottetown Conference took place in 1864, setting the foundation for Canada's birth as a nation. For those who appreciate the quieter moments, Prince Edward Island offers plenty of peaceful spots to relax and connect with nature. Take a bike ride along the Confederation Trail, a 320-kilometer stretch of path that takes you through forests, along lakes, and past historic farms and coastal views. The scenery along the way is simply breathtaking, especially when the wildflowers are in bloom. The best time to visit PEI is late spring through early fall, when the weather is mild and the island's natural beauty is at its peak. If you're a fan of lobster, then June to early July is prime time to experience the fresh catch. Prince Edward Island is a place where life slows down, where nature's beauty takes center stage, and where stories and memories are made. It's the kind of place where you can sit on the shore, watch the waves roll in, and feel connected to something bigger than yourself. From the wind-swept shores of Peggy's Cove to the glacier-fed lakes of Banff, from the electric pulse of Toronto to the silent, shimmering skies of the Yukon. We've traveled thousands of miles across a land shaped by ice, time, and stories. Canada isn't just a country you visit, it's a feeling, a quiet kind of wonder that seeps into your soul when you're standing at the edge of a fjord, hiking through ancient forests, or sharing a laugh with a stranger in a cozy mountain cafe. It's the thundering applause of Niagara Falls, the mirror-like calm of Lake Louise, the colorful chaos of Montreal's street art, and the sacred silence of Lense Meadows, where Viking echoes still linger. Did you feel it too? That spark, that pull to go, to see, to explore? Maybe you've been here before, or maybe, just maybe, Canada is still waiting for you, waiting with its open skies, its endless trails, its quiet, jaw-dropping moments of magic. So wherever you are, whether you dream of chasing waterfalls, sipping maple syrup in a countryside village, or watching the northern lights dance across a frozen lake, there's a corner of Canada calling your name, and when you're ready, it'll be right here, wild, welcoming, and completely unforgettable. If this journey moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next adventure. There's a whole world out there, and we're just getting started.